What's the most embarrassing cringy thing you've accidentally shown someone? Or something they accidentally saw while using your phone or computer? I was kind of on the flip side of this when my uncle was going through pictures of my baby cousin on his phone and swiped too far to show me a picture of my auntie standing completely naked in a doorway. The image is still burned into my mind. Way back when, I was playing a bunch of World of Warcraft. This was back when people were making funny machinima YouTube videos constantly. And I had them downloaded to my computer so I could show my friends. Then one day, I set up a very early version of Plex, video streaming software, on my computer. And I hook up my TV for a small party. Little did I know, Plex scans your media library and then runs out to the internet to find a cover image that Plex thinks matches your movies. So that you have a thumbnail to click when you want to watch that video. For some of my WoW YouTube videos, it found pictures of orcs and elves fricking. And threw that up on the screen. The girl I liked at the party, what the frick is that? Me. Borderline speechless. I have no fricking idea. Dude I used to lift with. His phone is face up on the floor next to the bench bar. Literally every day at the gym she'd be texting pics of everything. What's funnier is she'd be texting him, "Come home to have this," and he'd just keep lifting. It was odd. In my younger years working in desktop support, we had a guy complaining that his computer was running slow. It was literally full of horse porn. This was back in the 90 MHz Pentium days and long before people had anything better than a 57.7 baud modem in their house. I had to show my boss and point out that obviously, this guy was using company bandwidth. We had a fractured T1 at the time that we paid out the nose for, to download non-work related material onto his company laptop. Clearly in the office. This was also the same dude who got caught putting breast milk in his coffee. So there may have been a few issues there. Handed my mom my phone to show her a picture of something or other. Didn't think. Next thing I know, she starts swiping. "Mom, you need to stop. Right now, swipe. Why? I never get to see your pictures. Swipe, swipe, stop, attempt to grab phone. Look of horror on mom's face, because I have pictures of my PP on there. Was talking to some cute girl. It was going well. And gave her my phone to add me on Facebook. Her profile was the first profile on the recent Facebook searches. My partner showed his friends some pictures from a vacation years ago and he scrolled too far back and he accidentally showed them my nudes. I was 5 feet away and died. Not exactly accidental, but when I was 15 my mom was snooping through my phone and found a text that said, "I wish I could have a girl with boobs so big I could suffocate in them." That was a cool fun time for me. It guy here. Way back in the day I was using Netscape, which had this feature of popping up the last site you were on. I believe this was default. Anyways, I had legitimately been doing some research on hacking since I was the administrator for a small web hosting company, so of course the sites I hit were chock full of pop-up ads with porn. So some Monday my boss and another woman, I think she was basically the EA, wanted to look at something on my computer, so I go sure. NP. Fire up Netscape and bam. Up pops like 8 chicks in a line all giving blowjobs. I was pissed. Luckily they believed my story, I think, but still. Embarrassing. Other than that, nothing. I'm not stupid enough to use a work phone or computer to look at art. Also LPT. If you're attached to your work VPN, don't be browsing the naughty bits. I was helping a man with some kind of intellectual impairment download a Bible app onto his phone. I had to go into his browser to search something for him. And it was all porn. About 50 tabs open, each showing what term he'd put into Google. And the search terms were the kind that a 10-year-old would use. I finished getting him the app and attempted to peace out. Although not before having to tactfully decline giving him my phone number. That would be when my sister saw my vaginal. We recently reconnected. We had been estranged because of my absolutely insane mother. We were laughing, talking, just generally catching up on 20 years of life. And of course we were showing one another pictures of our family's houses, friends. I thought, oh, I'll pull up Google Photos because then she can just open albums and see each person or whatever all at a time, and I forgot that one of the albums is called Naughty and Google Photos chose a very naughty pic for the album cover despite my begging it to choose another. I had the app open to an album of kid pics when I handed it over. She closed the album, swiped to see what other album she wanted to look at, and I heard, oh. She told her fiancé we got to know one another really well in that first meeting. I had sent nudes to a guy I was dating. This was before I realized Google Photos saved everything. I proceed to delete everything from my phone and think I'm in the clear. Well, my ex logged into my Google Photos and saw I was sending nudes and freaked the frick out. I thought he had downloaded some hacker poop onto my phone. I figured it out. Eventually. Sexy pics of me in lingerie meant for my BF. My mom saw them scrolling through pics from a trip I took. Father-in-law was looking at photos on my phone with me. I got a text from my wife that said, "I've been a naughty bitch. You need to come home and slap my ass." I turned to him and said, "What kind of daughter did you raise?" I learned that day, A. Turn off preview 3. Do not joke about a man's daughter. A friend was showing us his holiday pictures and accidentally swiped too far and showed us all a selfie of his ass, then one of his balls when he tried to fix it. Older man caught me looking at boobs on my phone during a bus ride home. I quickly scrolled up, realizing that I was in public. He leaned over and said, "Hey, we can share." Got off 3 stops before my own. I shared a link to my photographer friend's website on Facebook after she and I did a project together. I body painted some models. She took the photos. What I forgot was that there was also a page of nude photos of me from a photoshoot I had modeled for. I'm not exactly shy about nudity, but I also didn't mean to show off those pics to everybody I knew. I also once sexted nudes and dirty requests to my dad instead of my BF in a drunken mistake. I hope my dad didn't see, but a message from FWB popped up saying something like, "I miss fricking you, slut." In 2011 I accidentally shown my boss a photo of my boyfriend, now husband, and I doing something quite NSFW and adult in nature. It was on a flip phone and we were outside in the sun at an amusement park work event. Originally I was showing him pictures of my safe for work art. I take pride in my sketches and people say I'm good. Full stop. Anyway, the graphic photo was dimly lit and poor quality. I'm not 100% sure if he recognized what he saw, but I quickly snatched my phone and walked away, clearly embarrassed. We didn't say much to each other after that. Lol, bright side, my boss later hired my art skills and let me sit in the lobby. This was fast food, and aid groups of customers from schools by painting faces and make balloon animals. That was awesome. I went skydiving with a group of buddies. The first guy out of the aircraft got a badass slow-mo video of us all coming out of the plane after him on his GoPro. Naturally we all wanted a copy of the video. He left us his GoPro to plug into our laptops as he went to grab his stuff out of his car. If you've never used a GoPro before, you know when you plug it into your computer every file pops up with little thumbnails. The first guy to copy the video can't help but notice what looks like a naked girl in one of the videos. He stupidly clicks on it. It turned out to be our buddy with his current GF, and he was giving her the most violent porn-worthy throat fricking you ever saw. And to top it off, after about 5 seconds he stops, yanks her head back and hawks up a big loogie and spits it in her mouth. We all frickin' lost it. We couldn't stop laughing and he turned it off just in time before he came back inside. He ended up marrying her and we could never look at either of them the same ever again, lol. Had the minister of my church at my house. He wanted to upload music from his laptop onto my Zune. Tells you when this was. He turns it on and the Zune immediately displays a topless picture of my fiancée. A girl he's known since birth, having been best friends with her parents. He just clears his throat and says, "I didn't see that." The rest of my time with him that day was incredibly awkward, but he never brought it back up again. I was at a pool party and someone asked if they could use my iPod for the music. I obliged. He found a playlist with some songs he liked and put it in. I didn't realize it when the music started, but about halfway through making that particular playlist I experienced some heartache. So suddenly the pool party heard "Unbreak My Heart" by Toni Braxton. I ran out of the pool and was like, oh, how'd that happen? Weird, and put in some metal. Smooth. If it happened today I'd just own it and laugh, but 17-18-year-old me was embarrassed. Got out of it alive but still relevant. When I was 21 I had been texting my mom and my fiancé, BF at the time, at the same time. Accidentally sent my mom a nude. Rushed downstairs to find her phone plugged in. Message and read. Opened the message and deleted it. Our conversation was over and it took me a few minutes to find the perfect shot for my BF, so I'm positive when we were done talking she got up and plugged it in. Her phone was next to the fridge. So I just opened the fridge door and low-key deleted it before she knew. Was also before she found out how to put a passcode on her phone, so very close call. Had to tell my BF I was no longer in the mood after that one, lol. Oh man. A few years ago I used to work with an older, very Christian lady. I am younger, gay, and decidedly not religious. Despite this we got along pretty well and sat next to each other. We usually just talked about neutral things like how she was remodeling her house or the weather. Anyway, one time I went on vacation and she wanted to see pictures, so I handed her my phone. Totally forgot I had some guy's nudes on there. Luckily they weren't mine, but she literally screamed, dropped my phone, and ran into the bathroom. It's a miracle she never said anything to HR. I was so worried I was going to get in trouble. Showing my grandfather photos of myself shooting weapons whilst I was in Poland. Swiped across one too many and a photo of a toy baby with a joint lit in its mouth. I'm not sure if he really understood what he was looking at. So I think I got off without a hitch. My gay husband is a bit closeted. 15 years ago we were dating, not yet married. He was giving a presentation in front of a room of classmates. He was wrapping up and decided to shut down his computer while another person was talking. He forgot that when you shut down your machine, the background desktop image is projected to the projector. His desktop was a shirtless photo of me staring at the camera making a dumb cutesy face or something. Everybody giggled. He was mortified. Years ago the internet was talking about some celebrity's nude scene with full-on PP. So I googled it because I'm curious. There were gifs and everything. Well, later on I went to open the internet to show my mother something at dinner and there's a PP gif just waggling around. My mechanic was scrolling through his photo library trying to show me something car related. Suddenly poop everywhere. During the trip we did a lot of things and I took a lot of photos. Stuff of art galleries. Nature. Us together. Yeah, no regular trip stuff. My ex decided to get a bit NSFW and decided to partially record us doing the deed. I really wasn't paying attention while it was happening. And thought the recording was on his phone. Well, of course. I happily showed them. I'm already protective of my phone, so I was holding the phone and scrolling whilst they asked questions and and it. It never played, but yeah, no, there's a thumbnail and of course it's me in a not so SFW position with my boyfriend. I was shocked and luckily caught it straight away and scrolled past. The damage was already done though. So I took a rather artistic partially nude photo of my husband. I'm an engineer, so if something comes out artistic when I do it, there must have been some divine intervention. While it is partially nude, all the important parts are on full display. as I'm moderately proud of this photo. My husband. And it gives me a racy feel to see it off, and I set it to my husband's caller ID photo on my cell. My phone is in a wallet type case, so the cover is usually closed so that I don't flash everyone when my husband calls. Until I was helping a friend whose cell had died and my husband started calling to figure out where I was. She just handed me my phone saying Zed is calling. And didn't bring it up. When she talked to him later though, they are co-workers, she apparently razzed him a bit.
Hi there. Look, if you enjoyed the video, well, why not go ahead and hit that like and subscribe to Reddit Stories. In fact, if you want to see even more responses to this thread, well then, take a look. There's the link in the description below. And remember, show some love to those authors while you're there. And I look forward to seeing you next time.